Hey, Dr. Karen Can here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. For the last few days, people have been complaining about being attacked or betrayed or criticized. And at first, I really didn't know what that was about. I thought maybe it was just a handful of people, but it seems to be the energy of what is going on right now. And so I think I figured out a couple things because it actually happened to me as well, and really can take people, aback to suddenly, be attacked or criticized, and just understand that sometimes this is a global issue that's going on, that something wants to be healed. So here is the good news, especially for those of you with high light scores that are really shocked and surprised, like, oh my gosh, like, why am I being attacked? I'm really trying so hard and I'm trying to heal and help people and things like that. But what it is my understanding anyway, is that how well can you let go of whatever it is that comes at you that you don't like? So think about it. So say this week you have been attacked or criticized, or you got some negative energy from someone. How long did it take you to release that? Now, this isn't a competition about, oh, I did it faster than you or anything like that. It really is a mirror for yourself to see, well, how long did it take me in the past, maybe years ago, and how long is it taking me now, and what processes do I use to heal the situation. So I'll just give you an example from my own life. So there was one of my light warrior boot campers had in our private Facebook group had mentioned another healer by name and her healing therapies, and thought that she wanted help to check the light scores because she wasn't feeling very good about them. Unfortunately, that particular healer got wind of what she had posted, and because she had actually used her name, it was quite embarrassing for her. And so anyway, so there were very angry emails shot off at this particular student of ours, and to me as well. It kind of came out of the blue. I was like, whoa, who is this? But you know what? So we can actually think about it. If that happens to you, the immediate response is that survival response, right? That kind of like fight or flight. So we want to either fight or we want to hide or we want to, whatever. And we get that, that the blood starts pumping. And that's a natural human response. But after you go through that initial kind of, like, oh my gosh, I'm being attacked, then see if you can feel what's underneath that. So, when I, felt and read into it, I realized that, oh my gosh, let me put myself in her shoes and let's see if that happened to me, how I would feel. And although I probably wouldn't have attacked people, I would have felt embarrassed or, losing face. And in Chinese culture, it's really bad to like lose face, in front of other people. So, in the Chinese culture, you do whatever they can to save face. So, so I told this particular student, oh my gosh, this person did get wind of what you said. I'm sure you did not mean to, embarrass her or anything like that. So maybe you should change your post so you don't actually name her by name. And whether or not, this particular healer or person had entities is besides the point. And I'll tell you that in a minute, why it's besides the point. But the neat thing is, can we see the intention? So say, and I've had other, healing programs where people have asked me to check privately, what the light score was, or and I found one, on YouTube, and the minute I listened to it, I think I mentioned this a few months ago, but the minute I listened to it, James listened to it, we thought extraterrestrial, brain numbing stuff. And sure enough, we found really low light scores with that series of videos by a particular doctor who was very popular, which I will not name. But anyway, so, and we, healed all that. So, but the thing is, these healers are intending to be good, right? Their intention is good. They want to heal. They want to help. So we need to honor them for their intention, despite whatever else is going on that might be interfering with their work or whatever. And that intention, we need to honor that and, honor and respect that. So after, getting the attack email, so to speak, what I did was I actually, settled down and I could feel the intention of this particular healer. And I sent her, packets of love and energy, and really wasn't defensive at all, because I understood where she came from. I get that, that probably didn't feel good to know about, somebody not liking your work. That can, she could take it really personally, potentially. So we asked also Archangel Raguel to help out. So Archangel Raguel, I'm learning, is really helpful for conflicts in relationships. And that seems to be the theme this week, is conflicts in relationships. And I had another event happen to me where someone was unhappy with my work, and there was definitely stuff going on with her. And, I asked Source, well, why did you send this person to me if I wasn't helping her the way she wanted to? And Source says, well, pretty much said it's because you could take it. I was like, okay. So sometimes Source will choose people to be the target of whatever, so if that person was not very unhappy, with my work or whatever, and, questioning the validity of my work, that kind of thing, I could go into a defensive response like, oh my gosh, but the thing is, if I'm defending, that usually means is there's part of me that doesn't actually believe that I am who I am and who I'm true to. So, I'm like the go-between between, me asking questions. That is my skill set. Me asking Source questions. Okay, you can do this too. I'm not particularly special or gifted or anything like that, but it's a lot of practice and a lot of desire to connect to Source. So I ask the question, Source gives me the answers, and sometimes in this particular case, and this only happens in 1%, so I am told, that Source actually gave me the wrong answer on purpose. Wow, okay, thanks a lot. But Source says, I know you could take it because I know your ego could take it. And so in this case that I played this game with this particular person because Source said, you can take it as this healer, you can take the hit and not be damaged from it. Okay, not be defensive, not try to fight back or, whatever. And I got that. And it's a hard role to play. I mean, one of my spiritual teachers used to say to us, some point in your training, you're going to be mad at me because I'm going to represent your mother, your teacher, your father, or somebody else that you had an issue with. And you are going to play this game with me. And I can be the one to reflect back love despite anything that you throw at me, And so the cool thing is being able to see it right away or very soon after you get the initial, fight or flight response, to actually go, okay, settle down. Okay, what's going on here? And to be able to get Source to guide you. So, sometimes life isn't easy this way. And even if you're a super, super high light score person, it's still possible for you to be attacked. No one is perfect. No one can do divine muscle testing perfectly. We are human. There are filters. But the important thing is to understand the intention of the person, to honor that. The intention is to help. The intention is to heal. And for that, we can be grateful for all of the healers out there. And the good news I wanted to tell you is about the light radius. Now, my friend Jenny No and I often discuss the light scores and things like that. And she said, hey, I discovered something that I'm going to call the light radius. And this is the kind of like the spherical radiation of your light around your body, for lack of a better term. And the higher the light score, the more powerful, light the person emanates, the larger their light radius. So, a light radius could be like 10 feet. So anything or anyone within 10 feet will be cleansed of entities and low vibrational energies. How cool is that? So Jenny was mentioning, like, these could be miles, big, where, just all your neighbors, people around you automatically get their entities healed when you have a high light score radius or high light radius or a big light radius. So that's really neat. Now, the other day, all my websites went down. And I thought, oh, well, that's interesting, since they all have the universal shield, and so do my servers. There was nothing wrong with, my the people that hosted, because last time they had some issues with some dimensional issues, and so we healed that, and everything was fine. But this time, guess what? It was actually the angels getting my attention. Now, I knew that nothing was broken, but it was very inconvenient to have my websites down, especially since I was doing a sale. A flash sale of my holistic health transformation program that week, and also some other, private sales. Anyway, so I said, well, what the heck? Like, why did you, what? Okay, you got my attention. So what is it that you need me to work on? So I found out that I just literally that day was talking to a company that actually secures websites and gets rid of, malicious codes and hijackers and stuff like that. Well, that company themselves, the company itself, not the people in it, but the company itself actually had entities attacking it. And so I checked all the other companies that do that kind of work. Guess what? Almost all of them had entities attacking them as well. So I thought, well, gee, that's pretty massive. So here are people hiring a company to help them with attacks to their website who are being attacked by entities. So I cleared all of that for all of the companies, including the one that I was working on. And remember, my websites went down right after I talked to that company. And it's nothing to do with what they did, but, it was just my hint, like I had to do something bigger. And I thought to myself, well, gee, I mean, do I have to check everyone that I talk to? Like, if I'm supposed to do a healing on them, I mean, that it's so inconvenient. So I got the bright idea, thanks to the guidance from the angels and source, that there was something more, bigger, or at least more convenient for us to do. And here is the really good news. The light radius, I asked source, now that we're at the certain ascension level, is it possible for us to extend our light radius remotely to anyone or anything or any company that we are in association with? All we need is the thought of them and just knowing them, and that would be enough. And I got a yes, and I thought that was really cool. So I decided to, improve the universal shield as well, so that the light radius would actually include automatic universal shielding for all those that it is for their highest and greatest good, including people that I don't even see in my vicinity. So they could be half a world away and would still affect them, or it could be a company that I deal with that automatically gets shielded. So I had so much fun over the next couple of days testing random people that I knew or random companies. And some were particularly in the past definitely attracting entities and people that I knew. And lo and behold, could not find any entities around them. And I did test a couple of people that I knew that didn't have the universal shield. And after I made the changes, to the light radius, then all of a sudden they did have the universal shield, and it was 100%. So that was so cool. And then I asked, would it be possible, if it's for the person's highest and greatest good, for us to start clearing the low light score? So if they had a low light score, so basically they get entities cleared, they would have the universal shield downloaded, and the whatever's causing the low light scores would start to clear and heal. And I got a permission, I got a yes. So we can extend our light radius that way remotely. So here's the cool thing. Just by being in association with, me, then people will start, healing automatically without even necessarily getting a physical manual healing for me. And it solves one of my problems, which is I'm in high demand. And so, people, it's hard to get in to see me. They may not have money to see me, blah, blah, blah. But as long, the minute you watch one of these videos, you're already in connection to me. Cool. So things will start healing in your life if it's for the highest and greatest good. Now, there are some people that are type 3 and 4 healing types that have to know more, have to bring it to consciousness in order for that particular thing to heal, because Source needs you to understand that for your soul's mission. So it may not be, 100% for a particular person, because they have to know something before it will be. If it's not for the highest greatest good, it's not going to happen. So here's the other thing I got from Source is, if someone maintains a light score of 97 or higher on a consistent basis, doesn't go below 97, so 97 or higher, then this light radius, this light remote radius works for them. Okay, so is that cool or what? So many of you, especially those of you already using my Ascension 1s and 2s on a regular basis, and so many of you that I've just done your first one-on-one session and you've been using my Ascension 1s and 2s for months, oh my gosh, you're already in the high 90s. Yay! Just half a year ago, most people were starting in the high 60s and 70s when I first, see them in the session. But now it's amazing. People are coming in with light scores in the mid to high 90s already. Even before I start their session. It is so exciting to me, and it's so validating as well that everyone is ascending, and it's really cool. Like, I have friends that I know, and acquaintances that generally they may not believe in God or whatever, and they might resonate originally at a light score of like the 40 somethings, but now it's like consistently higher and higher. They might be in the low 70s now on a consistent basis, and and they get into a better mood, and we can see the shifts in their lives, and it is so, so cool. So we've also asked for this light radius to extend to everyone and everything they touch and know as well. So I don't know a lot of details about that, but it may require a higher light power, light radius, or a higher light score. But this is very, very exciting news. So I'd love for those of you that are light score of 97 and higher, who are consistently that way, to start testing those around you, pre and post. Like, what was it before, my light radius had been, upgraded, and what is it now? So those orders and those energies to expand your light radius remotely, everything I talked about, is already loaded up and infused into Ascension 1 and 2. So as you listen to those, that will automatically, be infused and downloaded and activated in you. So I'm so excited about this. Now, again, this week, this past week has been difficult. So remember, so if you are getting criticism or whatever, just step back a little bit. Don't take it personally. Don't have your self-esteem smushed because of it. It really isn't necessarily even directed at you. You just happen to be there sometimes. And if you could honor and love that it's your ability to let go of that and to switch it and transform it, transmute it as quickly as possible, so it's not a big deal. If you are losing sleep over something, no. Things are going much faster now, so that is something that you definitely need to work on. If you are losing sleep over any worry or any concern, that means it's still hanging on. So let's release this quickly for ourselves and others' benefit, and you'll see over time that you're doing it much faster, that things will just whoop, like water off a duck's back. You don't have to ignore it, but you can address it, and always ask for help. So you can ask your angels for help, the archangels for help. Ask Archangel Raguel to help you with the conflicts. And when you can see the person's intention, sometimes they're just in fear, and that's where it comes from. We've all been in fear. So if you can understand that and empathize with that, and then you don't have to take it personally. So have a wonderful week, everyone, and I look forward to speaking with you next time. And if you didn't catch my show on depression and anxiety on Monday, you'll definitely want to do that, because I will be all the replays, all the energy, all the activations in there are still there. So if you haven't listened to it, listen to it so you can receive all those energy healings, those free energy healings. Even the mini healings work for you too, even on the replay. All right, I will talk to you next week, and looking forward to it, and God bless. Bye for now.